Hello and welcome. Namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi completes 11 years in office, inaugurates locomotive manufacturing plant in Gujarat's Lahore. Asserts that Make in India will power Viksit Bharat. Bangladesh's National Consensus Commission, set up by Yunus's caretaker government to suggest reforms after Sheikh Hasina's ouster last year, says political parties have failed to reach agreement. The Kremlin terms US President Donald Trump's dubbing of Russian President Vladimir Putin as absolutely crazy as emotional overload at a very important moment. And Iran outrightly rejects any pause in uranium enrichment drive as part of a nuclear deal. Continues talks with the US for an agreement. Now, in line with his commitment to enhancing connectivity and building world-class travel infrastructure, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Indian Railways' locomotive manufacturing plant in Gujarat's Lahore. This plant will produce electric locomotives of 9,000 horsepower for domestic purposes and exports. He also flagged off the first electric locomotive, paving the way for greener, faster and more sustainable rail travel. Further, the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone and inaugurated multiple developmental projects worth around 24,000 Indian crore rupees, significantly boosting rail infrastructure, enhancing connectivity and driving economic growth for the region. And earlier, Prime Minister Modi held a major roadshow in the Vadodara city. The event drew thousands of supporters, reflecting strong local backing ahead of key national developments. The PM appreciated the warm reception and expressed his gratitude to the crowd for their support and blessings. Prime Minister Modi is visiting the western Indian state of Gujarat for a 2-day period. And the PM has said that Operation Sindoor is not just a military action, but a reflection of Indian values and emotions. Addressing a rally in Gujarat's Lahore, Prime Minister Modi emphasized that considering the heinousness of the act by terrorists killing innocent people in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam, India could not have remained silent.
जम्मू कश्मीर के पहलगाम में आतंकवादियों ने जो कुछ किया, क्या भारत चुप बैठ सकता है? क्या मोदी चुप बैठ सकता है? जब कोई हमारी बहनों के सिंदूर को मिटाएगा, तो उसका भी मिटना तय हो जाता है। और इसलिए ऑपरेशन सिंदूर सिर्फ एक सैन्य कार्रवाई नहीं है, ये हम भारतीयों के संस्कारों, हमारी भावनाओं की अभिव्यक्ति है। आतंक फैलाने वालों को सपने में भी सोचा नहीं होगा।
And India continues its global campaign against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, with all-party parliamentary delegations engaging in diplomatic efforts and visiting key countries to spread the message of zero tolerance towards terrorism. The all-party delegation led by MP Kanimori Karunanidhi held a meeting with chairperson of the Foreign Policy Committee of the National Assembly, Predrag Bakovic, and chair of the India-Slovenia Parliamentary Friendship Group, Miroslav Gregoric, in Ljubljana, Slovenia. Now, this visit to Slovenia aims to bolster international support for India's position on cross-border terrorism and Operation Sindoor. Another parliamentary delegation visited South Korea's Seoul to discuss India's new novel response to terrorism following Operation Sindoor, emphasizing no distinction between terrorists and sponsors. The delegation, led by JDU MP Sanjay Kumar Jha, met Sungil Chong, chairman of National Defence Committee of National Assembly. The delegation discussed peace and security challenges in Jammu and Kashmir amid persistent external threats. The delegation also met with South Korea's first Vice Foreign Minister Kim Hong-kyun and briefed him on the recent heinous terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Kim strongly condemned the attack and expressed solidarity with India, underscoring the special strategic partnership between the two nations. The delegation is on a multinational mission to strengthen the global narrative against cross-border terrorism and highlight India's zero-tolerance approach. In another key diplomatic engagement, a high-level all-party delegation led by BJP Member of Parliament Baijayant Panda met with Kuwait's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs Sherida Abdullah Saad al-Musharji. This was on Monday. The delegation of Indian parliamentarians seeking to engage foreign governments on India's stance against terrorism. The initiative is aimed at presenting India's position on border terrorism from Pakistan. And India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has met with Maldives' Foreign Minister Abdullah Khalil on Monday. In a post on X, Dr. Jaishankar said that he welcomed Maldives' support and solidarity in combating terrorism. He also said that India remains committed to Maldives' progress and development. Foreign Minister Khalil arrived on Sunday for his third visit to India in 2025 in continuation of intensified high-level political exchanges between the two countries. And Dr. Jaishankar also chaired the consultative committee meeting of the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi. Discussions were held on Operation Sindoor and India's zero-tolerance policy against terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The minister underlined the importance of sending a strong and united message in this regard. Now, a group of artists of Gond and Madhubani art forms called on India's President Draupadi Murmu in New Delhi on Monday. President Murmu viewed the paintings made by the artists during their stay at the Rashtrapati Bhavan under the Artists in Residence program Kala Utsav for a week. This Kala Utsav program provides platform to the folk, tribal and traditional artists of India who've continued the varied forms of art since generations. She appreciated their contribution to India's important traditional art forms and wished them success in their future artistic endeavors. And India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has inaugurated the Krishi Udyan Samagam in Narsinghpur district of Madhya Pradesh on Monday. The event was attended by the Chief Minister of the state, Dr. Mohan Yadav, along with the other dignitaries. Calling the event an unprecedented moment, Vice President Dhankar highlighted the importance of farmers in the development of the country. Union Minister of State for Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, launched the high-resolution numerical weather prediction model Bharat Forecast System on Monday in New Delhi. The Bharat Forecast System is a numerical weather prediction model which incorporates artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques. The newly developed system will have a resolution of 6 kilometers, better than the previously used 12-kilometer global forecast system, providing more accurate and local weather forecast. Speaking at the event, the minister said that the system is thoroughly made in India and also lauded the women-inclusive team.
This is simultaneously addressing more than one aspects which are very close in the priorities of this government headed by Prime Minister Modi. A, that at a time when India has risen to rank 4 in economy and has very evidently showcased to the world its technological prowess, we are also, in a way, asserting ourselves and our supremacy as far as our forecast system and meteorological capability is concerned. Second aspect, which is, I think, all these things go unspoken, is that Prime Minister keeps saying make in India, and I think what better a model than this, the Bharat FS. The name is Indian, the effort is Indian, and the makers are Indian.
Now let's get to some weather updates as well. The Indian Met Department has forecast heavy rainfall and thunderstorms across several regions, with warnings extending until the end of the week. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon has further advanced into some more parts of central Arabian Sea, partially in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Bay of Bengal as well as most of northeast India on Monday. Heavy rain continues to lash many parts of Kerala, uprooting trees and damaging crops, buildings and residential homes. Red alert has been issued for Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Idukki, Ernakulam, Thrissur, Palakkad, Malappuram, Kozhikode, Wayanad, Kannur and Kasaragod districts on Monday, while orange alert has been issued for Thiruvananthapuram, that's the capital of the state, Kollam and Alappuzha districts. And the Met Department has also issued a heat wave alert for Rajasthan, that's in the north, forecasting that extreme temperatures will persist over the next 5 days. According to the IMD, severe heat wave conditions are forecast to continue in Rajasthan until the 27th of this month and in Punjab, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir until the 26th of May. India's western state of Maharashtra is also facing heavy rains, with thunder and lightning having been lashing Mumbai city and its suburbs since Sunday night. The heavy downpour has affected road traffic due to waterlogging in low-lying areas in Sion, Dadar, Andheri, Kurla and King Circle. Rail traffic has also been affected with waterlogging between railway tracks at several stations. Meanwhile, heavy rains created a flood-like situation in villages near Karaha River, with many rivers still under the impact. A total of 8 villages were rescued by the rescuers. And heavy rains are also on in many parts of the state, and the Meteorological Department has forecast that heavy rains will be there for the next few hours as well, especially in Mumbai, Konkan and western Maharashtra. The state administration has been directed to remain on alert and carry out relief work. The Met Department has forecast heavy rains with strong winds of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour and lightning in some places in Mumbai in the next 3 to 4 hours. A red alert has been issued for Mumbai's suburbs. And let's also take a look at other stories making news around the world as well. In Turkey's Istanbul, thousands gathered to celebrate 3-year-old Ali Asaf Demir, who overcame leukemia with balloons released into the sky. His father, Samet Demir, invited locals through social media to join the celebrations. How lovely. Now, Denmark's King Frederik has celebrated his 57th birthday at his residence Amalienborg Palace in Copenhagen. The Royal Life Guard, dressed in red uniform, honored the occasion with a parade. With rising local temperatures, the rare migratory birds at Gahai Lake wetland in northwest China are beginning their breeding season, enhancing the vitality of the region's ecosystem. Located in Luku County, Gansu Province, the Gahai Lake wetland boasts of an elevation of over 3,470 meters. A young farmer, Shao Jian of Chongqing municipality in southwest China, has gained significant expertise in smart farming equipment and aims to become an agricultural specialist in both technology, especially drones, and farming methods. He discovered his passion for drones, realizing that operating them felt similar to playing video games. Shah also learned how to drive tractors, rotary tillers, and many other types of farming machinery at school. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. US President Donald Trump extends EU tariff talks deadline to the 9th of July amid threats of 50% duties. Southeast Asian leaders meet in Kuala Lumpur to talk tariffs, truce and East Timor. And the world's youngest chess champion D. Gukesh will face off with the world #1 Magnus Carlsen in the opening round of Norway chess tournament a little later on Monday.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. when supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, Bangladesh's National Consensus Commission, tasked by the caretaker government to lead critical democratic reforms after a mass uprising last year, said on Monday that political parties had failed to reach agreement. Ali Riaz, the Commission's vice president, said that despite marathon efforts, they had not reached a deal. Ali Riaz, a political science professor at the Illinois State University in the US, said that the procedure for appointing the chief of the interim government and the duration of his tenure has divided parties. Contentious issues including whether a prime minister can serve more than 2 terms and the process for selecting the president are also up in the air. Parties also debated recommendations to change the terms of the constitution from secularism to pluralism. Riaz said the teams would not give up, saying they would begin a second round of talks. Now, US President Trump has issued a rare rebuke for Russian leader Vladimir Putin on Sunday, saying he was not happy with him after Moscow launched a record number of drones against Ukraine. Responding to a question on the tarmac in a modest town, Trump said he was absolutely considering increasing US sanctions on Russia in response to the latest drone attacks.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
And the US President doubled down on his criticism for his Russian counterpart by calling him crazy in a social media post. Trump, in a post on his official Truth Social account, said, and I quote, "I have always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He's gone absolutely crazy," end quote. Trump did not stop short of criticizing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, posting that the Ukrainian leader, quote again, is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop, end quote. Further, in reaction, the Kremlin on Monday said that President Trump's claim that Vladimir Putin had gone absolutely crazy might be due to emotional overload, but it also thanked the US leader for his assistance in launching Ukraine peace negotiations. And Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov also said on Monday that Russia has struck military targets in Ukraine in response to Ukrainian strikes on Russian civilian targets. This comes after Ukraine's Air Force said that Russia targeted Ukrainian cities on Sunday, that is in the night, with over 360 drones and missiles.
Of course it is. This has already been said many times. We see how the Ukrainians are striking our social infrastructure, peaceful infrastructure facilities. This is a retaliatory strike, and a strike precisely at military facilities, at military targets.
And Trump has also said he was not interested in moving textile manufacturing back to America, saying instead he is focused on big things like computer chips and tanks.
We're not looking to make sneakers and T-shirts, and we want to make military equipment. We want to make big things. We want to do the AI thing with the computers and the many elements.
Further, Trump on Sunday backed off his threat to impose 50% tariffs on EU imports, agreeing to extend trade talks until the 9th of July. On Friday, Trump had warned of steep tariffs starting the 1st of June, citing frustration over stalled negotiations, sending shockwaves through global markets. However, after a phone call with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who requested more time to reach a good deal, Trump agreed to delay. He told reporters she assured him they'd rapidly get together to find common ground. Von der Leyen called the conversation good in a post on X and affirmed the EU's readiness to move swiftly. The new timeline restores the original 90-day window set by Trump in April.
She just called me, as you know, and she asked for an extension on the June 1st date. And she said she wants to get down to serious negotiation because I told you specifically, but I told anybody that would listen, they have to do that. And we had a very nice call, and I agreed to move it. I believe June 9th would be, July 9th would be the date. That was the date she requested. Could we move it from June 1st to July 9th? And I agreed to do that. And that she said we will rapidly get together and see if we can work something out.
And amid ongoing talks with the US, Iran on Monday rejected to pause its uranium enrichment program as part of any nuclear deal. US insists that Iran cannot continue to enrich uranium at all in any deal that could see sanctions lifted on Tehran's struggling economy. Iran insists that there will not be an agreement that does not permit it to enrich uranium.
The issue of enrichment as an inseparable part of the peaceful energy and nuclear industry of the Islamic Republic of Iran must be preserved, and we are not allowed to show the slightest leniency in this matter. And based on these proposals that are being put forward from various parties, including Oman, we'll definitely consider these bold red lines of ours.
Now, the negotiations aim to settle a long-standing conflict about Iran's nuclear program. US President Trump has warned of severe economic sanctions and potential military action if a new nuclear deal isn't reached. Now, Nicolae Dan has been sworn in as Romania's president on Monday in a formal ceremony before Parliament, pledging to be an open to the voice of society. Dan, a pro-EU centrist, won the Romanian presidential election on the 18th of May, defeating the far-right George Simeon with 53.6% of the votes. During the ceremony, Dan took the constitutional oath, vowing to serve the people and upholding the rule of law. He also pledged to clamp down on corruption and to recover the stagnant economy as Romania is experiencing the highest inflation rate in the European Union. Southeast Asian leaders met on Monday in Kuala Lumpur for their first summit since Trump's tariff policies upended global economic norms, with the trade-dependent nations expected to issue a joint message of deep concern over recent US actions. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, that's ASEAN, will also tackle pressing regional issues, attempting to increase pressure on Myanmar's military junta and iron out remaining issues with East Timor's application to join the bloc. On Tuesday, the leaders will be joined in Malaysia, which holds ASEAN's rotating chairpersonship, by representatives of China and Gulf states as they seek to solidify diverse economic alliances in the face of future uncertainty. Malaysia has said it will continue speaking separately to the junta and to Myanmar's armed opposition groups to try to foster direct talks between the warring sides. Now, Nepal has a rich and diverse ethnic landscape home to numerous distinct groups. In 2021 census, Nepal had recorded 142 castes and ethnic groups. Hayu is one of the tribal communities that is its unique language facing extinction, as there are no monolingual Hayu speakers in Nepal. Sincere efforts are required with language conservation, and programs are ongoing to revive the language in danger. Here's more from our correspondent in Kathmandu. Take a look.
Travelling to Roshi municipality 49 kilometers away from Kathmandu Valley and coming downhill to Walting, one gets to interact with the Hayu community of Nepal, which has its unique language, culture and tradition. There are no monolingual Hayu members in Nepal now, so efforts are being made to train their indigenous community members in the language. It is said that the culture and language of this minority community are on the verge of disappearance as people prefer to speak Nepali. To preserve the Hayu language in Walting of Roshi municipality of district Kavrepalan Chowk, the 15-day language training program is ongoing from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. so that even school students can attend the classes without missing regular school. The language training program is organized by Hayu Society Nepal with financial support of National Foundation for Development of Indigenous Nationalities. A language class has been started at Sunkosi, Rural Municipality, and Golanja, Rural Municipality of Sindhuli, and Roshi, Rural Municipality for the first time.
हो सिन्धुली कनपा 1 दाडीगुराँसै मेरो नाम कुमार आयो म कनपा 1 सिन्धुलीबाट चाहिँ यहाँ सिन्धुलीको समिति र यहाँको समिति मिलेर मलाई यहाँसम्म ल्याइदिनु भयो भाषा शिक्षाको लागि गाउँमा ठेट भाषा जे बोल्छौ त्यही नै यता पनि बोल्ने लेख्न कोसिस गर्ने त्यो अक्षर अलिकति नमिल्ला त्यसलाई सोचाएर कसरी हुन्छ सबैजना मिलेरै लेख्ने गरेका छौं यहाँ बिहान
सेवानो आङनाउ गणेशवायो बिहान 7 बजेदेखि 6 बजेदेखि 8 बजेसम्म कोलु 2 नाउ 3 छु 4 क्यू 5 कोलु गत 6 कोलुगत कोलु 7 कोलुगत नाउ 8 कोलुगत छु 9 कोलुगत क्यू नाउगत
नाम आङनाउ चन्द्रबहादुर वायु कुरी
नाउ बिन्दावाय हो कुर उडी कपाल सोम टाउको पुछी निधार ओठ कुञ्चिङ नाक चोक्ने
यस हाम्रो भाषा हराएकोले भाषा संरक्षणको लागि केन्द्रबाट सरकारले 15 दिनको लागि एउटा भाषा शिक्षक पठाउनु भएको छ उहाँबाट क्लास पनि लिइरहेका छौं र अब केही सानोतिनो कुराहरू सिक्दै गइरहेका पनि छौं र अब हाम्रो सरकारले चाहिँ यो केन्द्रबाटै भएको हो।
Ethnic Hayu live on the hills to the south of Sunkoshi River Valley in Bagmati province with different dialect of Hayu language spoken in places like Walting, Ramichhap and Sindhuli. In Walting, 12 Hayu household with 85 members live who are active participants in conserving the Hayu language. Shweta Singh for DD India, Kabri Palan Chowk.
Let's now take a look at some sports news as well. Well, youngest world chess champion D. Gukesh will face off with world number 1 Magnus Carlsen in the opening round of the Norway Chess in Stavanger City on Monday, while first-timer Arjun Erigesi will open his campaign against Wei Yi of China. In the women's section, Kuneru Hampi will compete against compatriot Vaishali Ramesh Babu in the first round. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those who go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India and its mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. You can just scan the QR code on the screen and download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.